This place is complicated. In a world of increasingly constant extremes, my city is somewhere in between. Although we have a love-hate relationship, I can often be talking proud but disappointed at the same time. And I'm not talking about blizzards and wings, Darwin, Martin, or Dingus Day. This is about our traditions. I'm talking about the things we created but never invented. I'm talking about hatred and division. From rich to poor, north to south, white to black, we're all Buffalonians. Why do we do that? Anytime we allow ourselves to be great, it's always in the shadow of our failures. We're either bouncing back yet again or privy to rare displays of quality in the face of adversity, and we get so excited about the generous reaction, we never ask why it has to happen. No one circles the wagons. Why do we always have to circle the damn wagons? Resiliency is admirable, but if we're always digging each other out, who's in charge of the snow? Who are the ones digging this hole? Where does all the money go? Don't get me wrong. I'm not against growth, but we never try to plant seeds where we seem to need them the most. What good is a city where only some of us can truly enjoy it? What good is a scenic tour when over half the city's avoided? I'll see your lack of progress and raise your unemployment right after your rent. Our streets have too few buses and bike lanes and far too many potholes and homeless. We have an ineffectual long-term mayor, a subway that only moves 20 minutes in a straight line. I know that's the quickest way between 2 points, but the realities of our days shouldn't get downplayed. If life were a straight line, no one would get lost along the way. I used to feel the Buffalove until I got Buffalost. This place is complicated. We disrespect Olmsted yet celebrate his contributions. That's complicated. I grew up on the Lower West Side. My friends were white, black, brown in dreams. In fact, the only friend we didn't have was green. I couldn't see the invisible lines, that the same diversity I enjoyed in my few blocks didn't apply to the rest of my city. You can be happy living poor as a kid until you grow up to find out how the other side lives, until someone tells you where your place is. We started the opposite of riches, so since then I've been suspicious. A taste of buffalo might be delicious, but when you've digested the entire meal, you taste it for real. I'd hoped for brighter days in the city of light. Instead, we get the gloomy winters of our discontent, watching my memories get torn down and rebuilt as multi-use revolving doors in overpriced apartments. I didn't realize what City of No Illusions truly meant. It meant we weren't allowed to look at the price of what was taken and the cost that it took. There's a sad soul on every corner who will explain the heartbreak. I believe we still have so much to give, but how much more can we take? People who make the rules seem to think that Cleveland is the place for the Buffalo News, and everyone's confused when the narrative ends up being perceived as stronger than the truth. And the truth is, when you don't have much, you have everything to lose. Still waiting on that Buffalo boost. And all the Goo Goo Dolls concerts in the world aren't going to bring back the jobs. All the friendly waves from friendly seasonal parades aren't going to pay service workers a union wage. So the next time things get bad out there, instead of closing our schools, let's open our minds. Let's take a school day to learn how to recognize that when we're tribes of one, we may as well be tribes of none. We lament our small differences and ignore our many similarities while we walk under the same snowflakes. It's the Buffalo mindset, where the bills are for everyone, and Humboldt is just wide enough to regret. We've got more bars than apologies, more chips on shoulders, more beauty than beholders, until we start focusing on what needs to be done, rather than what's politically possible. There is no hope. We can walk and chew gum at the same time. We can love even when our heart is broke. We're complicated. We can be proud and disappointed, and behind that pride is hope, is hurt, is the Nickel City grind. And I know Buffalo won't stop grinding. Even if we have to watch from the cheap seats, even if we don't get invited to the party. No one grew up to be what they thought they should be, but the Buffalo sky reminds me. The stars are just where we left them. No matter whatever growth, the gentrification, the erosion, the pride, it's all about the Nickel City grind under a crisp Buffalo sky. Somehow, sometimes, we'll survive.